have been reflecting a lot on the work that I've been doing in illustration and past work as well, but especially illustration. I kind of feel like I'm remembering bits and pieces of myself from when I was a child, when I really did enjoy being. I had a hard time being a child. I didn't like it. I hated being a child. I hated the restrictions and the expectations of what a child's mind should want. And doing this illustration has really helped me find some peace with childhood me and also kind of take care of childhood me. The illustrations that I've been doing of these powerful women in fashionable clothing with these bold statements are not out of nowhere. I first think back to when I would have friends over and I would draw a face on a page in a notebook, and we would dig into my sister's makeup and make up this face. And we would do this over and over and over again. And when I am drawing these woman-identifying and non-binary and queer fat folks, the feeling I got creating and recreating these faces, I feel the exact same thing now drawing these characters and filling in their features and finding out who they are. Yesterday I kept trying to change this character's face because it wasn't what I considered beautiful or powerful or conveying the emotion I wanted it to convey. And then I remembered that art is kind of alive in its own way, and to force it to be anything is kind of against everything I'm about, and especially to force a character to look a certain way or act a certain way, or why don't you smile, like all of that. Why would I want to do that when someone who looks like that could look at this artwork and say, hell yes, look at them owning exactly who they are, and they don't have to change for anyone. And I truly believe that. Someone told me once, you are not your first thought. Sometimes you're not even your second thought. You're that thought that recognizes those first two thoughts and says, wait, that's not who we are. That's all the bullshit from out there. And that's an experience I had yesterday. And along with that is that experience of being back with that friend, pulling out pages of notebooks and creating these faces. Another connection that I'm seeing is when I was around 11, I believe. No, I was probably 13. I remember I was in 8th grade. We didn't have internet at home, but I do remember going to the library constantly and signing up. You had to sign up for 15 minutes of the internet. And I would continue to show up and sign up, and I would go on this website called Gurl.com, Gurl.com. I recently found out it was bought by 17 Magazine, which, I'm sure 17 Magazine is something different now than what it was before, but I was surprised to find that out. But on this Gurl.com, there were a few great things about it. There were some pages about activism, there were message boards about music and art. It was a little safe haven for me. I had no friends in 8th grade. It was a very dark time for me, incredibly dark. And that little website was such a salve for my hurt. One of the pages on that was called Paperdoll Psychology. You would get a character, and then you had 3 options for a top, 3 options for bottoms, 3 options for shoes, and 3 options for accessories. And you would put it all together in the way you would want to wear it, or you want this character to wear it. And girl.com would tell you a little bit about your personality. And I just could not get enough of this. And it wasn't, everyone loves a personality quiz. That was fun. But it was more just creating these personas and attitudes just with a switch of clothing. I don't have much invested in physical appearance as far as beauty goes, like conventional beauty or conventional hotness or whatever. I do believe heavily in self-expression of all forms, and that is what fashion is to me. It's also been a form of armor or protection. I went through my emo and pop punk stage wearing those studded belts and t-shirts and ironic argyle sweaters and the heavy framed glasses. Once I had all of that, I felt like little sensitive, raw, emotional me could say, "Don't fuck with me." Or, "I know I'm ridiculous, I know I'm too much, and look at me." Like, I'm embracing that so you don't have to say anything. That was what I needed at the time. Now, I still get in these places where I feel vulnerable and that I could be, exploited for that, or I feel misunderstood because I'm an Enneagram 4 and that's what we feel a lot. We just want to be known. And I'll put on my flats with the spikes and have a "don't fuck with me" moment, and it's powerful. I really enjoy being able to do that with fashion. There's also, with the Paperdoll Psychology and with my recent illustrations, I get to try different aesthetics, different looks, different forms of self-expression in a very low stakes environment. I get to see these, Copenhagen street style on thin, waifish white women with blonde hair and characters my size and say, "See, it works. This isn't reserved just for what you see it on. People need to have some imagination," and that's what is happening with me. And I have continually been surprised by some of the common themes, but then when I really think about it, why am I surprised? The common themes are incredibly empowered, bold characters who aren't afraid to speak their mind. There's a bit of anger in there, a bit of being scorned and wanting to shout back. And there's a lot of joy, too, in the way the characters hold themselves and the colors they wear, the patterns they wear, the twinkle in their eye, that I don't even put there, it's just there. It's been absolutely joyful to work on these characters. And it's even better that other people resonate so much with them. It's not required because I needed to do this for me. But had that fallen on deaf ears, I'd feel a lot more lonely. So I'm going to continue along this thread of bold characters and powerful messages until I don't have it in me anymore, just like everything else. if there are any messages that you'd like to get out there with this platform, please message me. I would love to continue this and have it not just be my own thoughts. You know, I can tag you on it, I can put a little at the bottom of the quote, or it can be anonymous. The well of messages may run dry, and I would hate for that to happen, so let me know what you think. And if any of this resonated with you or made you think of something powerful that moved you, would love to hear about it, would love to read about it. I love being able to interact and not just speak at. I'm great at speaking at, but would love for it to be more of a conversation. Thanks for listening, y'all.